Well, some breaking news. Any moment now, the House is expected to vote on the articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. This is in response to his abysmal handling of the southern border. So far, two House Republicans have come out against the impeachment, Congressman Ken Buck and Tom McClintock. This means that Republicans can only afford to lose one more vote, assuming that all the Democrats vote against it. If it does pass, it would be just the second time a cabinet member was impeached, first happening back in 1876. Quite a while ago. Now, House Oversight Committee Republican Congressman Andrew Clyde. Sir, this is crazy. You got a one-vote margin. Is this going to pass?
Well, if it's up to me, absolutely it will. As soon as the vote is called, I look forward to going down there and casting my ballot to impeach Secretary Mayorkas because he has intentionally violated the law. People say that, well, this is Biden's decision. Well, Secretary Mayorkas has followed that and embraced that. He has done more damage to this country through his not just mishandling, but his intentional violation of the law than I think any secretary in the history in my lifetime.
Yeah, but let's say this does pass. I mean, we're all familiar with the presidential process where it goes to trial in the Senate, then could be recommended for charges beyond that. I mean, like, what is the course of action here with a cabinet secretary?
Well, I think we go through the same thing. Once we impeach him in the House, then it goes over to the Senate for the trial, and they'll have the trial in the Senate, and then the Senate will have to vote. It's a higher threshold in the Senate for the vote, 2/3, in order to impeach. You know, that means there's going to be a number of Democrats that are going to have to vote for it. Now, they may not, but you know what? Joe Biden's poll numbers are in the tank right now, the very bottom of the tank. And so maybe he needs a scapegoat. Maybe Secretary Mayorkas is going to be that scapegoat. We don't know. We don't know what the Senate actually is going to do. But I'll tell you that he needs to be impeached and he needs to be convicted and he needs to be removed. It will be forever on his record.
But that's kind of my point here is like there's a low shot the Democrats are going to take this up and actually convict him over there. We know that. However, is the Biden administration, could they use this, as you were mentioning, some sort of pivot to say, like, okay, yeah, let's get a fresh start. We're going to throw him under the bus, park him at some think tank and get him paid $500,000 a year to get him out of the way and kind of reset on this whole border thing?
Well, I guess they probably could do that. But I'll tell you that the border is strictly under Biden's control. He has total authority right now to end, catch, and release. He could completely seal every solitary illegal alien from coming across that border. He has that authority. It's in the United States Code. You know, President Trump used it in his administration very effectively. Biden could right now. So I think Biden's still going to own this regardless of what happens to Mayorkas.
Well, considering what you just said, it's not what Joe Biden said earlier. Listen to him trying to scapegoat out of this, asking for the new bill to be passed. Watch.
The result of all this hard work is a bipartisan agreement that represents the most fair, humane reforms in our immigration system in a long time, and the toughest set of reforms to secure the border ever. Now, all indications are this bill won't even move forward to the Senate floor. Why? A simple reason: Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump thinks it's bad for him politically.
Do they just make this stuff up as they go along?
I will tell you the toughest border bill ever passed was H.R. 2, and we passed it in the House. This bill in the Senate is dead on arrival in the House, and we're going to make sure that. In fact, I hope it doesn't even get out of the Senate. There's a talk now that Mitch McConnell and Senator Langford aren't even going to vote for cloture. The bill is that bad. Once you actually get to read it, you see there's all sorts of loopholes in it. The border will never be closed, and you will have at least 1.8 million additional illegal aliens every solitary year, literally coming into our country, codified into law. It's a disaster for our nation.
It really is. And, you know, Biden says that there's more to be done, and he wants to protect the illegals and part of that border. Look, Senator Langford came out with this bill, and now he's against it. And there's $60 billion, 3 times as much money goes to Ukraine as it does to our own freaking border. I'm sorry, sir, but I'm so angry about this.
Well, you know, not only that, but there's more money that goes to Ukraine than goes to our United States Marine Corps. I mean, their FY24 budget was $53 billion, and $60 billion is going to Ukraine. No, this bill has to be stopped, and stopped immediately. It is a disaster for our country. I'm interested in protecting Americans, not interested in protecting illegal aliens.
Yeah, or Jordan or Oman or building border walls anywhere else but our southern border. Congressman Andrew Clyde, appreciate your steadfast support, sir.